Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so happy to be with you tonight, which is actually Sunday, May 5th, 2023. We are getting here closer to our regular time. As you guys know, I was in a play just recently, which was Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon was the matinee. And I have to tell you, it was amazing. We had a great crew, we had a great cast. It was a lot of fun. When you do plays, though, you have parties, and those parties you're at for quite a while. I'll tell you that we have another great show for you, but we start on a Saturday and we roll all the way through the week, and we end up on a Friday. We're putting even more content that we're packing in to give you just so much amazing information to improve the quality of your life. Thank you for coming back. If you're a friend, colleague, or fellow associate and you just love watching the program, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And I want to thank you for coming back and rewatching us on the replays. That's 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 4 a.m., 4 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 12 midnight, 12 noon, or any other time that works best for you so that you can watch this content and become a better version of yourself. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's get right into this. All right. How to attract in life. We're on series 2, which means we're in year 2, show number 10, and we're on episode number 2. All right. So let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen, because I have a lot to share with you on this. So when we think about attracting, right? Attracting happens because of who we are or who we're becoming. So one thing that a lot of people always tell me, "Hey, John, I feel controlled. I don't know how to get out of this rat race. How do I get off the merry-go-round?" Right? And by being on a merry-go-round or being in the rat race really attributes to one thing. And that means you feel out of control. And so what I want to share with you tonight is that you are controlled by anything you identify with. So let's say you identify yourself with being heavy, okay? And you feel that's you. Well, then you're going to keep eliciting behaviors that are going to keep supporting that. If you identify yourself as being healthy and thin and perfect weight, you're going to start exhibiting behaviors that are like that. Now, we have control over anything we disidentify with, okay? So when someone says to us, that you're terrible at that, or you're a bad painter, or you're a terrible bowler, or whatever it is, and they say this to you and you identify with it, well, you just became locked into that. Now, I've said to you guys before that no one has the right to make you feel um, bad about yourself. No one has the right to make you feel inferior. So one way we've said in the past that you can basically, uh, let's say, unlock that and not identify with it is to cancel it out. So when someone says to me like, "Hey, John, you're a bad bowler," you can either say cancel, walk away to yourself, or you can go to the person and say, "Hey, Joe, thanks for the feedback. Uh, I've been on the team for a while, and I seem to be having a better score than you, but I appreciate it." And so something like that doesn't even have to be that nasty. Just, "Hey, Joe, thanks so much for the feedback. I've been bowling a lot longer than you have, and many other people seem to think I'm a great bowler." And you have not allowed yourself to lock into that. See, that is the big key, ladies and gentlemen. That is the key. So you're controlled by anything you identify with, and we have control over anything we disidentify with. So if we say we're not, or if we believe we're not, then we can easily release whatever was attached to that. Things like "I am," like "I am this, I am that," and saying good things, right? I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am smart, I am understanding. So I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm all these I ams. And by understanding these I ams, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it makes a very big difference on your life. Now, is it just a matter of you just saying affirmations? Does that get it to happen? Well, truthfully, no, because your subconscious has to believe it, right? And just saying something and not feeling it and making it a part of you, it's like not even saying it at all. All right. So I am this, I am that, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am healthy, I am my perfect weight, I am able to eat, and I'm able to lose weight. I am a great person. I am a good friend. I am a great actor. I am a great singer. I am a great performer. I am a great serial entrepreneur. I am a great compassionate person. I am a great person that is able to show and receive love. You see how this I am works? And so, if there are things in your life that are not working, try some I am statements out. I think you're going to find out that you will start to see that you'll be able to disidentify from the things that you don't want and identify with the things you do want. So when you identify with something, like if I say, hey, I am healthy, my body is going to be controlled by that feeling and sets of thoughts, and it's going to drive me to those type of actions. That's what's really key. So until you break the identification from something, like if someone says, I'm heavy or I'm tired, even if you are tired, I am gaining more energy with each page I read, or I am gaining more energy with each moment that passes, or whatever you want. So that is the key, ladies and gentlemen, to getting off that merry-go-round. And sometimes that merry-go-round, it's like we get on it, but we don't know how to get off it. And that is really key because you actually bought a ticket and put yourself on the merry-go-round. You just don't know that you put yourself on the merry-go-round. So I think that is really key, my friends. All right. What I want to share with you is something else that's very, very important when we think about, attraction and we think about energy and stuff like that. And this is going to deal with acceptance. All right. Just because you accept something doesn't mean you like it. All right, let me give you an example. Maybe you played sports for a while. Maybe you have an injury, or maybe there's some other reason that you don't want to play that sport. So you might say something like, I accept the fact that I'm not great at playing basketball or baseball. I don't like it, but I accept it. So just because you accept it doesn't mean I like it. I accept the fact that where I am right now is because of my past actions and thoughts. I accept it. I don't like it, and I can make a change. All right. People will continue, ladies and gentlemen, to stay stuck because, let's say, it's bugging them. There is conflict between the feeling that keeps us from moving forward. Let me say that again. People stay stuck because it's bugging us or bugging you, and also because there's conflict between the feeling of moving forward. Okay, so there's conflict between the feeling that keeps us from moving forward. See, that, my friends, is the real key. All right, and so denying them is what keeps them in you. All right. So we all remember that we always said, the Nile is not a river in Egypt. You remember that saying? All right. So when we deny something, what does that mean? So when they say this, and this has been around for a very long time, the joke about denial being a river in Egypt. Um, it's the words of Mark Twain, and I quote, "Denial ain't just a river in Egypt." Now, some people say denial isn't a river in Egypt, but denial ain't just a river in Egypt is actually, close quote, is the actual quote from Mark Twain's book. So Twain's quote is a play on the words between denial and denial. So Denial and DA-NILE, quote, close quote. And it's one of the oldest jokes in the book. And some even claim that it basically surfaced around 1933. It's very popular, and it's used um, even anywhere you can imagine. There's even a song with a line, "Call me Cleopatra because I'm the queen of denial." Close quote. Quote, close quote. Decades later, the joke is still pretty valid, and some people say the pun of today are even funnier than they ever were in the past. You can be the judge. Someone says something like, the joke about, denial is not just a river in Egypt. Um, what they're trying to say is that when someone doesn't believe anything that comes out of your mouth, right? Um, if someone said to you, um, I don't know, he cheated on her, she cheated on him, or what have you, don't believe me? You're probably in denial. So this is why we say denial. It's not denial is a river in Egypt. Denial is not just a river in Egypt. Okay. Quote, that boy must be swimming in Africa's largest river because he is in denial. Close quote. So when you say these words, it makes people really think about it, right? The first step to acceptance, ladies and gentlemen, is denial. The first step to acceptance is denial. Let me say that again. The first step to acceptance is denial. So, denying something gives you time to more gradually absorb the news and to start to process it. Um, it's a particular defense system that we have, and it helps to get us to allow those intense feelings of the situation to be kind of dampened. So, again, the first step of acceptance is denial. The key steps are denial, okay, anger, depression, bargaining, and acceptance. Let me go through that again. All right. So, denial. Let's say the relationship is happening and you see your best friend cheating on this other girl, and suddenly you tell your friend, and first he denies it. Oh, that can't be her. She would never do that to me. She loves me. Then he starts to get angry because maybe that is really true. And then he gets depressed because he started to realize that this could be true. And then he's trying to bargain about, well, she's not really cheating. I mean, maybe it was a misunderstanding. Then, all right, she's cheating on me. He's cheating on her. We start to realize it. All right. While everyone's grief is different, most people will go through 7 stages of acceptance: shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, testing, and acceptance. And again, this is done so that you have a chance to basically process this information. Maybe the doctor tells you something that you don't want to hear, and you decide you're just going to block it out. But then after a while, you change and you start to, go from that. Because first you're in shock, right? Then you deny it. People are asking about it. Then you get angry about, why is this? Why me? Then you bargain. Well, it probably really isn't that. It's maybe this. And maybe there's just a misunderstanding. You try to bargain with yourself so you can buy it. Then you get depressed, like, I guess I really have this. Oh boy. And then you test things, like, well, maybe if I did this, let me see what happens. And then finally, you accept it. What's interesting about this is when someone does something that's so outlandish, and when you know that it's true and they haven't yet come to terms with how it works, you just go right to the chase and say, you're swimming a big river in Egypt. Denial. And what we're talking about is not that they're in the river, but it's the fact that denial and denial are two very similar words, right? Denial, right? Does that make sense, everyone? So, denial, and I want to go to our friends, Merriam Webster, because they're always great with helping us out with these. So, we're going to take a look at the word denial. And they have one entry, and that includes the term denial, right? Um, but what does it really mean? All right. So, denial is a river in Northeast Africa. Okay. Everybody get that? Denial. So if you say to somebody, what does denial mean? It basically comes down to the fact that there is something to be untrue. Okay. A statement that something is not true, it's denial. All right, let's look at some other ones. So a denial is really just a refusal when someone doesn't want to accept or believe something as true. For example, you are reprogramming your brain because you want to make lots of money. But right now, you're not seeing the money. So if you're not taking the actions to get toward that and the beliefs, then that's going to hurt you. If you, let's say, have all these things and you're living a certain way, but now let's say you tell someone else you're living that way, but you're really not, then you're in denial. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but remember, we're running this play in our own life, what we believe. Okay. When asked if someone, let's say, had a donut with powder on it, they said no, and they're in denial. A lot of times they won't say anything, but their face will be plastered in powdered sugar. And obviously, it's pretty funny, but it's evident that the person lied when the evidence is all on their face. So we learned something very valuable tonight. And that is, of course, the river of denial is not just in South Africa, but denial is something present in a lot of people's lives. And we have to embrace that process. If we're trying to get something to jump from shock, denial, and suddenly to acceptance, it's not going to happen like that. So we have to be understanding in that people will come to their own denial in time. Can't rush them. So you're controlled by anything you identify with, and we have control over anything we disidentify with. We need to get off the merry-go-round. We need to make sure that we cancel out or we stop believing. I always say believe and achieve, but we want to stop believing that we are this, whatever thought it is, so we can gain power back over it. So, for example, we use the weight. I am healthy. And it's always better to do it in a positive instead of not. So, like, I am my perfect weight. I am healthy, right? Until you break that identification, you stay controlled and locked in a chain forever. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like it. let's say you're in school, teacher gives you an assignment, and you're not crazy about the assignment, but you accept that you need to do your homework. You're going to do it. You accept it, but you don't like it. A lot of people work for bosses and they're not always nice. And they accept what their boss tells them because they don't want to get fired, but they don't necessarily agree with it. And some bosses, unfortunately, don't want your feedback, which is really a bad boss. But let's face it, there's some people that are locked in prison because they're either married to a paycheck or they're married to a lifestyle and they're just stand-up people. No good. People stay stuck because they're being bugged by the situation. There is conflict between the feeling that keeps us from moving forward, and denying them is what keeps them on, I'm going to say, the merry-go-round, right? On the merry-go-round. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know who I am? I'm John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic evening here. Sunday, March 5th, 2023. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to go to my YouTube channel, John C Morley Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or perhaps a savory dessert. You know, we'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars, and investments in new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities, to give you the most jaw-dropping, empowered content to change your life if you really want to. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, denial is not just a river in South Africa. It is the truth of your life. Accept it and realize that you can change what you don't want when you change your beliefs. Have yourself a great night and feel free to watch this many times. And tomorrow or the next day, when something is not the way it should be, don't play the denial game. I didn't do it. I didn't say that. Own up to it. You'll start to realize that the pain will go away a lot faster. Have yourself a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys, yes, very soon tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Be well.